Welcome to Prayer Storm TV. Today we're going to be talking about waiting on God. You see, prayer has so many dimensions to it. Prayer has so many facets to it. And sometimes people approach prayer with a one-dimensional mindset, and they always pray the same way. They always approach God the same way, and they don't actually see the various dimensions and various ways of engaging God. And this subject of waiting on God has been one of the things that has really transformed my personal prayer life. I mean, many things have impacted my prayer life over the years, but this whole idea and practice of learning how to wait on God has radically changed me. And I want to share with you some of the things that God has really been showing me that I'm growing in, and I really hope you're able to put this into practice. When we come to the subject of prayer, one of the main things that we need to understand is it's such a deep spiritual experience that to enjoy the benefits of prayer, the first thing we need to learn how to do is shut off the distractions. Just think about it this way. If you're trying to spend time with someone and they're constantly on their phone, or maybe they're not constantly on their phone, but every now and again, as you're talking to them, they're looking at their phone, they're looking at messages, and you're really trying to share something really deep with them. It's very hard for you to go deep with them because you don't really feel like you have their full attention. And I wonder whether God is not able to share some things with us, his children, because when we're with him, we may be there physically, but our hearts are not there. We're constantly being distracted by actual phones and actual distractions, desires, and all these things kind of crowd our hearts. So we're not able to fully engage with God. You know, Jesus says, when we gather in his name, he's there. He says, where two or three gather in my name, I am there. You can apply that to yourself. When you choose to spend time with God in your prayer closet, at home, in your room, and your whole being is one, your body, your soul, your spirit, you're one, I believe in that place you can encounter God. I want to refer you to a scripture in Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I'm God. There are certain dimensions of intimacy and knowing God that only comes in the place of stillness. There are certain dimensions of knowing God that will not come in the noise. Prayer is not always about being loud. There are times where we need to learn how to be still. Now, in my own personal journey, I realized how much noise there was going on in my soulish realm when I chose to be still before God. And when I chose to spend time to just wait on God. I started to realize how noisy I was in here. And actually, it's not that we struggle to hear God as it is. We actually more tuned into many other voices going on in here. And we need to learn how to get to a place where those voices are quietened and where we're able to come into a place where God speaks, we're able to discern his voice clearly. Another scripture that highlights this concept is Psalm 23:2. David says, he leads me beside still waters, and he restores my soul. Now think about this. David is saying God leads him beside still waters. And when God leads him beside still waters, there's a restoration that comes to his soul. If you walk near a lake or a place where the waters are still, somehow just sitting there or being there, actually, it has an effect on you. And that's what waiting on God is like. When you spend time to calm yourself in the presence of God, this is not emptying your mind. This is calming your heart and setting your affections and setting your mind on God. When you begin to do that, you start to find that your soulish realm becomes still and quiet. Isaiah 40:31 says this, those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. There is something that happens in your inner man when you choose to spend time being still before God. I remember spending time waiting on God in stillness for hours. In a season where I was going through a lot of just busyness and I felt so tired, and I just wanted to practice what it was like to fix my heart on God and wait. And I remember just feeling not that much going on while I was waiting on God. But I tell you what, when I came out of that time of waiting on God, I could feel the impact in my soul. The best way I can describe it is, say I went into a prayer meeting, I went into an activity, maybe I was speaking somewhere or something, and I could feel the sharpness within my spirit. I could feel a sense of clarity. I could feel a sense of focus. It's very hard to describe, because in those moments when I stepped into a time of whether worship or prayer or leadership or anything I was doing, I could feel the stillness within me. The things that used to easily irritate me weren't irritating me anymore, because all of a sudden I could feel an inner fortitude, and that only came to me when I spent time waiting on God. Now, I must confess, over the years I've found that to effectively wait on God, for me personally, 5 minutes doesn't do it. Even 15 minutes many times doesn't do it. Because for me, many times that is me just getting to a place of focus. Okay, so I want to encourage you to, if you would like to put this into practice in your life, and I'll strongly encourage you to do this, is to give yourself a good amount of time. Now, don't be discouraged, okay? If you find your thoughts wandering, you find yourself just feeling bored and feeling like nothing is going on, don't be discouraged. The things that are most beneficial to us spiritually are often the things our flesh resists the most. So the fact that you feel like nothing is happening does not mean nothing is happening. You see, when you wait on God, you're actually saying to God, Father, I am putting my confidence in your ability to move as opposed to my ability to articulate, as opposed to my ability to get all my prayers kind of sounding the right way and getting all these things. God, I'm putting my confidence in who you are. I know that you see me, you know where I'm at, and you can meet me right here. And I'm telling you, right now, one of the things I want to even do more and more in my personal prayer time is spending a good amount of time just being still before God.